What's up, y'all? I'm Kyle Downey, and this is the Sports Download. So let's talk about the state of the Lakers right now. The Lakers are 3-4, and well, first I want to talk about last night's game against Miami. So they played Miami. It was a close game throughout the whole game, back and forth, and luckily for the first time in a while, the Lakers did not start behind the eight ball. They weren't down by a lot. They get to halftime. It's pretty even. I think it was an even game, or they were down by a few points. Then the third quarter happens, and they keep it close. But then Anthony Davis gets hurt, and it thankfully it came out. It was just like a hip spasm or a groin spasm. I hope that's true because the Lakers have been really ambiguous with their injury reporting over the last few years. I hope that's true. Um, So spasms, he says he'll be fine for Wednesday. But during that game, so situationally, when they would get down by 10 and then they'd be trying to shoot threes, one thing I want to mention is that I know that nowadays, because of the analytics, it's either a layup or a dunk or a three-pointer. And the three-pointer is obviously threes are worth more than two, and if you hit more threes, then it can be more efficient if you take a bunch of threes. The problem is the Lakers have 3-point shooters and they're not hitting their threes. And they're not at full strength right now. And I got to recognize that the Heat were missing a couple guys, but the Lakers are very slim. They were playing an 8-man rotation before AD went down. But that being said, when you have LeBron and AD, or even when you got LeBron, LeBron was devastating them in the paint. They can't guard him in the paint. They have to double, triple him. And I understand that opens up shooters. But my point is that and I love 3-point shooting. When I was playing pickup, I would like to shoot threes, stuff like that. I played high school ball, didn't really shoot a lot of threes in high school, but like, but I love shooting threes. But if you're not making the threes, then get an easier basket. Get your confidence up. Get the ball closer to the hoop. Get LeBron rolling to the hoop. Get AD rolling to the hoop. And more people are saying this, which I got to give them credit. The Kamenetsky brothers, Anthony Irwin, people are saying this. I heard Robert Ory said it on Spectrum. Is that you don't need a three, especially last night's game in particular. They were down two, and then they were shooting. They were looking for threes. The math is right there. No, excuse me. They weren't down two. They were down 1 point, and they're trying to shoot threes. You don't need a three in that situation. Just try to get a two. And I understand the last play because LeBron is going to draw the double, and that last night he drew a triple. And then, but it looked like Christian Wood might have been open, but in that split second, I'm not going to fault LeBron. Then we go to the lineup in crunch time. You had Max Christie, not Max Christie's on the bench, and you got Cam Reddish in there taking the shot. I don't want Cam Reddish taking the shot. He's not a good 3-point shooter. He's never been a good 3-point shooter. He's been decent this year on defense, but his 3-point shooting is not there. So, and he got a decent look at it. I gotta say, it looked like it could have possibly went in and hit the back of the rim from the short corner, but he's not a shooter. He's not a shooter. He shouldn't have been in the game. There was no reason to be in there for defense. He's not a shooter. Need Max Christie in there instead. And so there you go. And there's the game. But if they would have designed a play to just get a dunk or a layup, possibly free throws, you can't count on the free throws because that's another thing. The referees have been horrible this year. And I've watched pretty much every Laker game this year so far. I have watched every Laker game this year, and the refs have been terrible. The refs have been terrible on both sides. A lot of stupid calls against the Lakers, and I know they're trying to. I heard Anthony Irwin say that they're trying to get used to the rule book. I don't give a damn. The refereeing is terrible. Just get out the way. If you're not sure about something, don't blow your whistle. That would be a lot better. It's way too many touch fouls. Like there was the game against the Clippers, they called a foul on Cam Reddish when I don't even know if he caressed Paul George's forearm, and they called a foul. But I digress. I had to mention that about the ref calls. Some people don't like to talk about it. I'm gonna keep it real. Sometimes the refs are crap, and the refs have been crap lately. Got to be for real with it. So that's the thing. And going back to that, just don't count on getting free throws because the refs have been bad. But get LeBron a good look at the rim, or get Christian Wood in a pick and roll towards the basket or something like that, or get a guard to go to the basket, maybe Prince, maybe Taurean Prince could get to the basket, or get Reeves to the basket because they're smaller. Because the problem is they're not calling fouls for LeBron because he's so big and strong. He's the modern day Shaq in that way, where they do not know how to referee him at all. They call all these touch fouls for these little dudes, and they don't give him no calls, which is ridiculous because he goes to the basket, especially this year. That's a positive, is that he's looking so good. He can still attack the basket. He can still get up and dunk it, and he's not afraid to attack. And I'm not blaming LeBron. I know he's plays the game the right way. There was a wide open shooter. I'm not blaming him at all. No shade. I trust LeBron to make the right decision. It's just Cam Reddish shouldn't have been out there, and that's a Darvin Ham thing. But they had 2 minutes to score a basket, and neither team scored a basket for 2 minutes last night's game. The Lakers gotta get something easier. Especially if you're only down one, get a bucket. Just get two, and then the pressure's off of you. It was very frustrating. It's been very frustrating because they got shooters, but they're not hitting shots. I've only seen Taurean Prince hit some shots. AD's been hitting some threes. Doesn't take a lot of them, though. LeBron's hitting some threes. Reeves is starting to come around. So if the jump shot is not falling, do not depend on the jump shot. And even mid-range. Like, if you're going to make the shots, keep taking them. And shooters got to shoot. But if the whole team is not making shots, then get something easy towards the basket. Get some layups. Get some free throw attempts so you can see the ball go through the hoop when you take a free throw or when you get a layup or a dunk. Like, the other part of analytics that people don't talk about is that the two-pointer is very efficient. It's very efficient because even if somebody's guarding you, you have a 50% chance of making it at least. So that was very frustrating to talk about. So that's last night's game. And then just overall, so the Lakers starting off 3-4 is very underwhelming, especially in the circumstances. And now I know they've got injuries, but even still, Lakers fans are expected to win and win championships. So this start has been very underwhelming. And I see the world through purple and gold lenses, but I'm a realistic fan. Like, I understand circumstances got to factor it in, but especially last night, LeBron scoring 30 points, having an incredible night. 37 minutes, by the way. Got to win that game. But even with the injuries, they got Vando out, Rui out, Gabe Vincent out, all these guys out. They still should have won that game last night. And looking at it, like, they, instead of being 3-4, they should be 5-2 or 4-3 or something like that. Like last night, if they would have won, they'd be in 4-3. But so just looking at the opportunities missed, there's been quite a few of them, so that's been underwhelming. And also, just attack the damn basket. Just get a dunk, get a layup. If you're not making threes, don't depend upon the three. You live by the three, you die by the three. The three has just not been there for him this year so far. But positives, it was good to see Austin Reeves coming around, 23 points. LeBron looked great, as I mentioned. They got the Houston Rockets up next. They should win that game. The Rockets are better than you think. They're a 500 team right now at 3-3, but still they beat the Kings twice in a row. So they're not a bad team like we're used to. And the West is wild this year. It's a wild, wild West. There's like a bunch of craziness going on. So they got to win Wednesday against the Rockets, and then you got the Suns on Friday. Durant's definitely gonna play unless something happens. I don't want him to get injured, but you never know. It's fluid, especially early on. But Bradley Beal's trying to make a comeback. He might play. He might play Friday's game. Devin Booker may not, though, so they might not be at full strength. And I'm sure AD will be fine by then. It was a hip spasm, and it's just, hopefully he just needs to hydrate and he'll be all right. But yeah, they got to win these games in the early going because you don't know how this West is going to shake out, and just got to win the games when they're winnable, to put it bluntly, put it plainly. And then they have the Trailblazers after the Suns. So just got to get these wins. Let's go Lakers. Don't lose the faith. It's underwhelming though, and they got to take advantage of the games that they can get. All right, peace, y'all. Talk to y'all later. Watch me on TikTok and YouTube.